social media, just keeping that leverage going. My next question, Michael, is when you decided to put that ad from the heart into the paper, how did you go about figuring out which paper was the right one to advertise in?
What I did is they're remnant ads, and what they are, you don't pay full price for them, and if you don't care when the ad drops, you get them for a cheaper rate. And I worked with a company called Media Space, and they were amazing and they basically, we tried a few papers, and if it cost you, let's say if it cost $500, I wanted to get a return on my investment. I didn't have any money to do any branding, so I wanted to get a good return on my investment, at least get my money back plus a little profit. And it turned out we were doing that in every paper. It didn't matter which one, so I couldn't buy enough papers. Everybody had. I had found a need. Whatever invention people have out there, a lot of them just have a target audience, but my target audience is everybody in the world because it was a pillow. So it really didn't matter which paper it ran in. I was very fortunate, very blessed to have a product where it didn't matter when it dropped, it didn't matter when, but I suppose with target audiences of, let's say your golfers or whatever, or your ice fishermen, you'd want to be in Minnesota.
Right. Well, we always talk on the show about the window of opportunity. It's not like a fishing product or a golf product. If you love golf, then you think, and you're playing golf and you're at the course and involved in the whole experience, you think everybody's involved in golf and everybody plays it and it's the biggest thing in the world. All right? But then when you start to evaluate and say, okay, this is the United States, how many people play golf, you start to really bring it down to a point where, okay, and then how many other products are similar to something like that, and then your window of opportunity is diminished. Whereas a pillow or a kitchen gadget, let's say, everybody has a kitchen, everybody goes to sleep, I hope so, or they think they do. So everybody has a bed where they're sleeping, and there's the pillow. So you came up with a product that's mass appeal, so no matter what magazine or newspaper that you're in, it appealed to everybody.
Right, they were pretty much all the same, and then when the infomercial came out, I wanted to do the infomercial from the heart too. So that was a real audience. I didn't know who they were gonna call on, and it was not scripted. We did not have a teleprompter, and we just did it. And when that came out, that drove the sales. Also, the more it was just awareness, and then when we got into the retail, when we hooked up with the distributor with as seen on TV, then we got out to all the brick and mortar stores, and finally, in fact, I talked to a guy from Bed Bath & Beyond, and I told him the story of when I walked in his store, 9 years ago, and they said, they laughed at me about my product, but I still didn't give up, and now here I'm in every Bed Bath & Beyond in the country. That's kind of cool.
That's fantastic. So when it sounded like there was some trials and tribulations and struggles, now you have a company. I think you mentioned that you had 11 people in your company now?
Yeah.
11 people. So you're still manufacturing on your own?
Yeah, I had 11 back then. I have over 600 employees now.
Wow. So you have 600 employees. Now you have a factory is it your own factory? Do you outsource it?
It's my own factory. I don't make anything overseas. Everything's made in the United States here. I do all my own manufacturing, all my own call center, my customer service center. I really wanted everyone in my company to have the same passion I had for the product, and we give them all a pillow when they come to work or when they first come to work for us, and so they know they're out there helping people, and it's just a blessing to be able to bring a product out there that helps people, and we get hundreds of testimonials a week of how it's done all these things from that it's helped besides sleep, and you kind of wonder sometimes. You're going, this is are these even believable? But they are. I've heard so many of them of how people get they don't snore anymore, and all these different testimonials, and wow. All from a pillow.
Well, I don't want to wake up in the morning anymore since you gave me one. No, it's very comfortable. What's interesting is, and you think about this with anything that you do in life, when you do something from the heart, or you're doing things to help people or do things to make things better, when that is first, then money always comes second. And it seems like that's what you did. You really drove this, and you put your hard-earned money out. You mortgaged your house. You had your kids, doing illegal labor, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
We won't mention that, but you did all that because you wanted to get the word out, and you wanted everybody out there to feel the same way you did about your pillow.
Oh, absolutely. I still feel that way. That's why I'm never selling out, and I'm not making. I've got huge offers. I just feel it's everybody. I'm doing something great that I'm going to for the country and for the people, and I feel great about it. I feel blessed to be able to even bring the product to them, and it's not. I love the fact that I can keep over 600 people still employed, and we probably have another 2,000 indirectly that are employed here in the United States directly from my subnet or where I get my raw materials from, and we have 70 people out on the road selling them at shows yet, like I used to do for years. And we're even in the military bases in the country and right up to the Pentagon where we sell, we're selling right there, just like, your home shows and your state fairs. Anybody that's listening, I'm sure they've seen us at a fair or a home show or, and they're still out there selling them face to face with the people. And, that's one thing I miss. I do miss that because I got to hear feedback back from the people and listen to them and hear it and it's very gratifying hearing their great stories of how it's changed their life. It's created a miracle in their life.
Great. So you're at a point right now where what are you doing on a daily basis? Are you managing the production? Are you out there talking to people? You said that you stopped going to the shows and you have people kind of doing that for you. So what are you doing? What are you doing during the day?
Well, I'm learning how to be a CEO. I didn't know what I was doing for the first year when I went from 10 employees to 400 employees in 1 month. It sent shockwaves through the company, through the county. I mean, it was just I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have my nets, my prices right, and for my products to people, because now I'm doing such mass quantity, and I made a lot of mistakes in 2012 and this year, and then now my time is spent. I've learned a lot, and I've got my company running very well right now. I've got some good people in place and dedicated. They were always dedicated, but now I got people doing the right things and the right. We kind of had to learn as we go because we grew so fast. But I'm also making appearances daily on either QVC or I've been on IMUS. If anybody at Fox News, I've been on IMUS. I've been on Geraldo. I do a lot of public appearances, and I do a lot of besides running the day-to-day. I'm stand right out. My office is right outside of our customer service center, so I'm hands-on. I still take really pride, and I think that's one of the most important parts of any business is the customer service. So you learn if there is something wrong, and I want the customer service like they used to have in the 1950s, where we every customer counts.
That's very nice, Michael. So this was a very interesting journey you took us through, and we're very. I know I am. I'm very. I feel like this has been something special that you shared with us on our show tonight, and I really appreciate you being on the show and sharing all that. So now, what's next? What are you doing? Is it going to be the next generation MyPillow? Is it another product? What are you doing next?
Well, you will see. We've got in the next couple of weeks here, we're coming out with our couple more infomercials, and one of them is a new product. It is it's a new topper that's going to go on your bed. It's going to revolutionize the sleep industry. Probably not as much as MyPillow, but pretty close. When the pillow gave you your deep REM sleep, this new topper is going to give you delta sleep. So it's going to be the most amazing sleep experience that people have ever had in their lives. And I'm really proud of those things that are coming out here in the next 2 weeks. And then the next in November and December and beyond that, QVC has us. They've got us tied up a lot, and I'm going to be out there a lot. And then we've got huge orders for the brick and mortar from as seen on TV from Telebrands, and this. I think it's going to be. It seems like each year I'm doubling like a penny. Like it's right. If you have 1 penny, 2 pennies, 4 pennies, 8 pennies, it just keeps getting bigger. And I want everybody to have. My goal is to have at least 1 out of 5 people in the United States within a few years have MyPillow, and I think I can get there.
Wow. All right. Those are some big goals, and doing what you're doing, hopefully you'll be on your way and achieving the next goal that you want to reach. Mm-hmm. Now, there's a lot of inventors out there that want to reach their goals, and again, they're at all different stages of the invention process, Michael. So we've heard it all from the start of just the idea to being the CEO of a company with 600 employees. So what kind of words of wisdom can you drop on the inventors listening, small business owners listening, entrepreneurs, whatever you want to call them, resources for inventors that also dabble a little bit with their own inventions or helping inventors out? Give us some words of wisdom on what you think can help bring us to the next level and reach our goals.
Well, I really think that from my own experience is instead of running in these mistakes yourself, is go out there and find someone that's been through it. If you're in a service business like the bar business, go see if you have a friend or somebody that knows someone in that business and you can ask him questions so you don't make the same mistakes he made, or if it's an invention, don't. To check with someone else, find someone else, locally, even if he's not a friend of yours that has an invention, and ask him questions. Knowledge is, I think, so key to of the mistakes being made. The mistakes made. I mean, you can. We've kind of went through. There's different things you have to do. Make your prototype, get your provisional patent, and there's all these things. But it's the mistakes to avoid, and I think the only way that comes is to talk to people that have already been through it, because there's been so many inventions that not came to be because of different mistakes, and that people give up on them rather than keeping the passion. And one thing is you gotta have passion. You gotta believe in whatever product or service you're doing. If you don't, then you're gonna fail anyway.
That definitely comes across from you, the passion, for sure. So, mm-hmm. Michael, thank you so much. That was Michael Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow. We can go to MyPillow.com and we can order it there, or where we just find it at a local store. You can order at MyPillow.com, otherwise we're in, like I say, we're in almost all brick and mortar stores, and you'll be seeing my infomercials come up. If they go to MyPillow.com, and they can even put in the code MyPillow, and they can get you can save 25%. So that's a great savings. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Is there any expiration date on that? Because the show gets archived for many, many years. I still have people listening to that.
No, I just gave you the code they can use they can use that code, and if it doesn't give you the 25%, it'll give you whatever special happens to be on there. That's kind of our generic code that we use on all our infomercials. So
thank you very much.
I don't plan on changing it.
Okay, we appreciate that. All right, Michael, thank you so much for joining us. We want to hear your next venture success, and hopefully we'll have you back on the show one day so we can hear about the next steps. And I'd like to thank our sponsors, Inventors Digest Magazine. Thank you for all your support. You can go to inventorsdigest.com. United Inventors Association, UIAUSA.org. There's a great area there. If you want to find a local inventors club, go on to the Inventor Resources and find one and get active. We also have quickpatents.com. If you need a design patent, you can go to them. GetInventionHelp.com, ChinaToWest.com, Distribution Direct. If you need warehousing, go to DistributionDirect.com. Thank you, everybody, for your support. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Have a great night. Keep on inventing, and stay tuned, and keep an eye on the GotInvention.com website for upcoming shows. We have a great lineup. Have a great night, and keep going. Speak to you soon.